guys, Will here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Honda Ridgeline rtl-e.
And huge thanks to Joe at Ocean Honda in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Joe.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Ridgeline has been Honda's mid-size unibody pickup truck since 2006. That's when the first generation was released. The second generation Ridgeline that you see here was released in 2017, facelifted for 2021, which updated the front end styling with more aggressive fenders, a higher hood with a more aggressive bulge, higher front fascia with an upright front grille, and a more functional front bumper with functional airflow. We also get dual exhausts, which replace the old exhaust with bottom exits. We get the latest Honda infotainment system too, with hard volume buttons, which we did not get for the pre-facelifted Ridgeline, and an all-new HPD package. All Ridgelines come standard with Honda's 3.5-liter VTEC V6 and intelligent all-wheel drive with a 9-speed automatic transmission, cranking out 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. The 2023 Ridgeline is basically unchanged, available in 4 different trim levels, starting with the Sport, under $40,000 with a base price of $38,800, coming standard, again with a 3.5-liter V6, all-wheel drive, and 9-speed auto. Also, the dual-action tailgate, in-bed trunk, LED low-beam lights, a 7-speaker audio system with 200 watts. Tri-zone automatic climate control is standard. We get an 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, loaded with advanced safety features, starting with a high-resolution backup camera with multi-angles, adaptive cruise control, road departure mitigation, and collision mitigation system. You can upgrade a couple $1,000 to the RTL trim level at $41,780, coming equipped with leather interior, blind spot monitoring, a moonroof, and heated front seats. $44,730 is the base price for the rtl-e that you see here, including a wireless charger, truck bed audio system, and a 540-watt premium audio system in general, plus Honda navigation system. The top of the line Ridgeline is the Black Edition, starting at $46,230, coming equipped with specific exterior Black Edition trim and specific leather interior for the Black Edition. We get 18-inch specific rims too, and red ambient LED lighting. But again, this is the rtl-e with a base price of $44,730. What do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your updated post facelifted Ridgeline styling, really unchanged for 2023, but I'm still liking the black grille, shiny chrome above it, but not too reflective. We get LED lights, LED low beam with a halogen high beam, fog lights down below too, and functional airflow also updated for 2021 for the facelift. But other than that, pretty basic, just like the 2022 that we already reviewed on this channel, the wheel and tire setup. It's impressive. For the rtl-e, we get these Firestone all-terrain tires, gunmetal gray 18-inch rims. These are Firestone Destination LE2 tires, dimensions being 245/60 R18. We get some plastic cladding with a splash guard behind the front tire. Get a good look at your suspension setup. Unfortunately, we don't get any side sensors, but we do get full front parking sensing on the Ridgeline rtl-e. Shiny chrome surrounding your window trim. We get some dark tints out rear, smart access for the front, more plastic cladding for the rocker panel area, LED turn signal on the body color mirror. The glass fills up the entire frame too. You might be wondering, why is there no blind spot monitoring on the glass? The monitor is actually on the inside of the mirror. I'll show you guys once we step inside. You can get a good look at the window sticker. Again, 2023 Ridgeline all-wheel drive rtl-e, crystal black pearl metallic for the exterior color. It's a metallic, but it's tough to see because it's a pretty cloudy day. It's actually about to rain right now in Port Richey, Florida. Black interior too. Standard features, you can pause, take a look at all of these. We already went over quite a few of them. $44,730 for the base price. We have about $1,500 in total options. Hard tonneau cover, bed cargo net, truck cargo dividers, and a first aid kit for $1,460. $1,300 for the destination totals us out at $47,485. 21 MPGs, 18 city, 24 highway. It's nice to see above 20 MPGs with a vehicle in this segment. Out rear, the gas cap is not a push to open. I'll show you the latch is inside. Same rear wheel and tire setup. We have an independent rear suspension, of course, and a unibody construction. Hard tonneau cover we went over. It's part of that $1,460 package. exterior lighting too. Ridgeline, shout out Ocean Honda in Port Richey, Florida for making this review possible. All-wheel drive badge, full rear parking sensing, tow hitch. This truck's rated to tow up to 5,000 pounds. Above the Honda badge is your backup camera, also next to your latch for the tailgate. It's not damped, but it's a dual action tailgate. I'll show you guys what I mean by that in 1 second. The bed, I can't really show it to you guys very easily because the tonneau cover is zip tied and I don't have a knife or any scissors on me to open it up. But you can take my word for it, it's a spacious bed. We have 2 pocket cutouts, a 400-watt AC adapter. It might actually be hiding its way in here. Let's see what we do have in there. Pretty tough to access, but yep, we have our 400-watt AC adapter in this cubby. I'll shut this thing up. It's pretty tough to access overall, but again, what you see is basically what we get. We didn't mention this in the previous Ridgeline review on this channel, but we have an in-bed trunk too. This is a huge game changer, kind of like a Ram box, but in a much better location. You can have it underneath your cargo accessories, don't have to worry about getting wet at all. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, and it doesn't take up any extra space from your tailgate. Huge feature. We get a spare tire in there too. We shut this thing up. As we mentioned, we have the dual action tailgate. Not only does it fall down like a regular tailgate, it also opens up uniquely, kind of like a Ram with a multi-flex tailgate, but completely sideways, so you can access everything far back in your tailgate area. You can get a much deeper overall angle, and you can access everything in here much easier too. But other than that, we can shut this thing up, take one more step back. LED for the taillights and brake lights, but the reverse light are a halogen. Dual exhaust tips too, updated for the post 2021 refresh. We take a squat back here, get a good look at the fully independent rear suspension, but let's fire up this 3.5 liter VTEC V6 and hear how she sounds. All right, guys, that was the sound of the 3.5 liter VTEC V6 sold by Honda for the 2023 Ridgeline rtl-e, and it sounds pretty decent for what it is. Makes a good amount of power for a mid-sized truck. It's towards the top of the segment in terms of horsepower, not quite towards the top in terms of torque, but cranking out 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, made it to the 9-speed automatic transmission. You can expect 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, so certainly no slouch. No struts, unfortunately. Gonna have to deal with a prop rod. I'm currently using my arm as a prop rod, but what you see is basically what we get. We can shut this hood right up, take one more step back, get one last look at the front styling. We'll start it up towards the end of the review, get a good look at the light pattern one last time. But in the meantime, very impressive. Let's check out the interior real quick. Well, not real quick. We'll go into full detail. Again, smart access for the door handle, chrome door handle. Up top, we have soft touch material, soft touch for the center, 2 aluminum door handle, 2-person memory seats, auto one touch up front, lock and unlock, leather stitch trim for the armrest, 2 tiers of storage. You can fit a couple footlongs down below, probably fit a footlong up top, but be careful not to be taking any tight turns because not the tallest support. We can fit a 12-ounce right next to it. Gas cap release. The seats, we hear that stupid annoying Honda door chime, but in the meantime, we'll take a quick look at the seats. They are perforated. They're not cooled or ventilated, but they are heated seats, white contrast stitching, solid bolstering. We get an armrest for the seat, fully adjustable. We got lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats, but taking a step inside, we can really check it out. The engine start stop button is to the right of the steering wheel. We can fire it right up. And first thing we notice is the steering wheel itself. We actually get a little bit of a 10-2 bolstering notch. It's not the fattest. We get a nice 9-3, decently thick steering wheel. Not the thickest, but for a mid-sized truck, more than good enough. We do get aluminum paddle shifters. You don't see that in this segment very often at all. Volume and skip controls. These buttons are shortcuts to your touchscreen. You can answer and hang up your phone calls, voice commands, heated steering wheel, the horn. Sounds very aggressive. It's outlined in some gunmetal gray on the right side. This main button can turn on or off your lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise control. And speaking of that, this controls your cruise control with the radar cruise function. Lane keep assist 2, active steering. These buttons control this little LCD cluster. You can adjust between range, distance, average fuel. 2 screens for it, oil life, tire pressure. My personal favorite would be just to leave it at this compass. Paddle shifters too, if we didn't mention, pretty sure we mentioned it to the left of the steering wheel. We have 4-way adjustable mirrors, econ mode, parking sensors, lane keeping assist, both can be disabled. Same with your forward collision mitigation, traction control, cargo lights. Heated windshield too, that's nice for the wintertime. AC adapter, all controlled to the left of your steering wheel. We have a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. You can take a quick look at your pedals, not electronic, e-brake to the left. Dashboard has some stitching materials, but it's just plastic. The touchscreen, it's pretty responsive, but it's a little bit dated for the navigation screen. You'll see what I mean right here. So the response is definitely there. As soon as you touch it, the screen reacts. It looks a little bit closer to like 2018, 2017 of a screen. It would be nice to see it updated, which I'm sure it will be for the next model year. Dual zone, tri-zone actually, climate control. We have an automatic climate control out rear too. Heated, no ventilated seats. It would be nice to get ventilated seats on the RTL-E trim level. Some storage, wireless charging pad, that's appreciated, 12 volt and a USB port right next to it. The gear selector, it's just buttons controlling your 9-speed automatic transmission, drive and sport mode. Take a quick look at the backup camera. It has a very high resolution to it, guidance lines and trajectory, multiple views too. You have a narrow view, wide view, and an over-the-top trailer hitch view. I'll leave it at the original view with the guidance lines and trajectory. You throw it back into park and it immediately returns us to the home screen. Drive mode selector right down below. It's really more of an intelligent traction control, so you have normal mode, snow, mud, and sand. We'll leave it in normal for this entire review. No real reason to take it out of normal. Auto start stop you can disable. 2 cup holders, pretty large. You'll fit 16 to 20 ounce water bottles in there with no problem, with some interior illumination right outside of it. I'll move my shades out of the way. We have a center cubby. It's not wood trim, but it does feel like some high quality materials. The space is massive. You're fitting at least a 12 pack. You may fit a 20 pack in there if you squeeze it in tight enough. Additional 12 volt and an additional USB and USB-C port. But we can shut this thing right up. Pretty decent amount of space. We don't have a true console, but 2 armrests, and once they're set in their place, they're more than wide enough to fit 2 full-size arms. The rear view mirror is basically frameless. It's not truly frameless, but super thin frame. 3 garage home link settings on it, and it's auto dimming. We get a sunglass holder too, nice, and it comes with a additional mirror so you can see what your kids are doing out in the back seat. Sunroof too, you can open it up by simply pushing that latch back. The shade opens up with it. Opens up pretty far too. See if it goes any further. It does not. We can poke our way out of here. Pretty nice day today in Port Richey, Florida. It's supposed to rain, but it's probably not going to be too bad of a rainstorm. It's currently at about 85 degrees, so not overheating at all. We can shut this moonroof right up, leave the shade open, so when we hop out back, you can see how much space is brought into the cabin. The glove box, hard plastic surrounding it. It's not damped or lined with felt, but it's large. You'll fit 20-25 license plates with no issues. Air vents, piano black surrounding the touchscreen, but that's really about it for the front seat. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the material. So out rear, up top, hard plastic, unfortunately, for a $45,000 truck, but we have a very soft armrest. It's a cup holder with like a foam pocket right next to it, or like a cigarette pack pocket. I'm not quite sure what exactly you put in there, but it's a nice storage pocket. No storage beneath, unfortunately. Additional speaker for your premium audio system. The rear seats, you can either fold them up, which exposes not truly flat floor, so a sleeping bag is probably not possible because you'll have a plastic hump digging into your spine, or however you would like to sleep. But the flat floor is still solid for storage. Pets, I'm sure, would have no issues. The seats themselves are still perforated leather, not the most bolstering for a back seat, but wouldn't be expected. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and this is one of the main reasons to go with the Ridgeline outside of that in-bed trunk. I have plenty of room for my legs back here, plenty of space for my feet, headroom at least an inch, maybe 2 inches of overall headroom. Mat box behind both of the front seats, air vents, and an adjustable 3rd zone climate, but it's only controlled up front, as you see where it says low in the center. I wish we had a 3rd zone climate control out rear too, but not really a big deal. At least it's controllable up front. LED lights for the interior. Unfortunately, they're not activated from the up front, but you can take my word that they're LED. That's about it though for the back seat. Very spacious for the Ridgeline. Really impressive midsize truck. If you're looking for a truck, you don't need to tow more than 5,000 pounds. You don't expect to have more than like 1,500 pounds of payload. The Ridgeline is truly all that you would need, especially if you want to carry full-size adults out in the back seat. It is spacious, practical, good looking, and as far as performance, let's take it out for a drive. All right, guys, now we've seen just about everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2023 Ridgeline RTL-E. Let's take it out for a drive. And as you just saw, the turning radius is very solid for a pickup truck. The low-end torque with the gas pedal is also good. Honda's kind of famous for having excellent throttle response with all their engines. Even their 4-cylinder engines have always had great response. I used to drive a 2018 Acura ILX with the 2.4 liter VTEC, and that thing used to roast the tires off the line. And most 4-cylinders just don't do that, but that vehicle had plenty of power. And good thing we have all-wheel drive here, because without all-wheel drive, I could definitely see the front wheels having some trouble putting the power down. But just cruising along, it is quiet in here. You hear just about zero road noise. The wind noise is very limited. We'll take a step out onto this multiple lane highway in a second. All right, guys, taking a step out here, we can lean into it on the gas. Woo! Nice, definitely picks up speed well. Get to highway speeds. Down low, actually, it has a very good low end punch. And there's a sheriff right here. Good thing we calmed down. But down low, there's a good punch with partial throttle. But as you lean more into the throttle, not too much up top. So although like 280 horsepower, it sounds good. It won't blow you away with acceleration, but for the way that the throttle is tuned, it doesn't feel like you are missing out on a whole lot of power. And now that we're at a little bit higher of speeds, it's still extremely quiet. You really do not hear a lot of wind noise at all. We only have single pane windows, no dual panes, but even with the single pane windows, it is a very limited amount of wind noise. And with these all-terrain tires, you hear a tiny bit of road noise, but for all-terrain tires, they are still very, very quiet. We'll take a turn around here, a little U-turn, test out a real-world turning radius one time, and a couple more acceleration runs too. See what this 3.5 liter VTEC V6 has got. All right here, whooping it around. Turning radius is really good if you don't notice on the gas. Okay. Yeah, I think the gears are just too long. For a 9-speed transmission, I'm not quite sure why it reaches like almost 70 miles per hour in second gear. If we had a little bit more snappy of shifts, where like the first gear went to about like 25, second gear to 50, maybe 60, and then the third gear took us to where it needs to go, I think this truck would feel a lot quicker, especially with all-wheel drive, because it'll put all the power to the ground. It just needs a little bit shorter gear ratios to get immediately into the power band, because this isn't a turbocharged engine. So it will take up until about 3,500 RPM to really reach that torque. But again, that's not what this truck's all about. This truck's about having the power for daily driving, having the practicality while also being comfortable, decently efficient, and not obnoxiously huge of a truck. So if this is your first truck, I'm not going to really call it a truck. I'll call it more of like a, I don't want to call it a ute either, because at the end of the day, it's still based off of an SUV. I believe Honda claims that the updated Ridgeline shares 73% of its components with the new Pilot. So it's a very SUV-like truck. So again, if this is your first truck, you're not going to have any real adjustments, because at the end of the day, it drives basically exactly like a Pilot. Also, if I didn't mention, we do have a power opening rear window. You pull this button back and the rear window opens up too. I don't believe I mentioned that during the review. But right here, barely on the throttle, and you see the blind spot monitoring where the location is. Pretty interesting design. Makes it, I guess, easier to see when you're in the car, especially at night. But when you're looking out the mirror, I feel like it's nice to get the blind spot monitoring on the glass itself. But like I just said, barely on the gas, you get up to speed so well. So the low end torque in terms of throttle tuning is there. I just think that if we had some shorter, snappier gears, you would feel that low end torque much, much better. So in terms of adjustments, the only thing that I would really change from a driving perspective is a shorter first and second gear. But other than that, this is an excellent feeling midsize unibody truck. All right, one time, I know nobody's gonna be using these, but we'll try out sport mode and the paddles, starting it off in first gear on the gas. Woo! All right, so it turns out that I would like for you to disregard everything that I've said for the last couple minutes. The first and second gears are actually surprisingly short. It's just when you're in automatic mode, the transmission, for some odd reason, is just super eager to start you off in second gear. I can't answer that one, but I thought we were in first gear for all those acceleration runs, but in reality, we were just starting off in second. I feel like it's only right to try one more first, second, to maybe third gear acceleration run. Right here, U-turn, let this guy get
out of our way. Make sure we're starting off in first gear. First gear on the gas. Yeah, like guys, that is night and day quicker. I wish I put this thing into sport mode earlier. So when you're in sport mode and you can really use those 1-2 shifts, this is a quick feeling truck. I was gonna say the 0 to 60 felt like it was in like the 7-ish second range, which makes sense because we were starting off in second gear, but starting off in first gear, this is a snappy feeling truck. All right guys, taking a step out here, we got some twisties coming up. Sport mode, steering feels very light. Ride quality feels good over those bumps though. Some concrete pavement and still a very quiet interior. Right here should be a good opportunity to try out an acceleration off the line. First gear, off the line, on the gas. Oh yeah. Woo! Sharp twisty coming up. Nice. We don't have to beat it up too bad. We're not supposed to be going very quickly out on this road. But anyway, as you see, through the twisties, the body roll stays very limited. The ride quality is great. This is a nice truck, guys. If you're, again, I've said it before, if you're coming from an SUV, there really aren't many adjustments to be made. The steering feels very light. Even in sport mode, the steering feels very light. We got a speed bump coming up. Test out this truck's composure. We will not slow down for it at all. Wow, great ride quality. And taking it out of sport mode, again, the throttle gets a lot less sensitive, but the steering stays just about identical. The steering does not change much in sport at all, if it even does at all. The biggest difference will be the transmission, especially in the manual shifts. The paddles are quick. Ride quality is great, but the paddles are quick. And in the sport mode, it actually allows you to start off in first gear, where in drive, if you're not going literally 0 miles per hour, the transmission will do whatever it can to start you off in second gear, which I don't really have a problem with it. First gear is actually very short, so it's a very snappy feeling off the line. So second gear kind of helps make things feel a little bit smoother. But if you're trying to get the best acceleration time, I kind of wish we could use these twisties up this guy's in front of us. But if you want to get the best acceleration time, of course, go into sport for smooth daily driving. Leave it in drive. You don't really need sport. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a first truck, you're coming from an SUV, or you're coming from a car, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2023 Ridgeline. And the rtl-e trim level is great. You have just about everything you could possibly want or need. Not only do you have the touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you also have a 540-watt premium audio system. The in-bed trunk is also a huge feature that comes on all Ridgelines, but with the rtl-e, we have an in-bed trunk with speakers too. We also get the 400-watt AC adapter out rear, so truly a great trim level, truly a great truck. If you're looking for a first truck, or if you're just looking for a practical truck you don't need to tow, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2023 Ridgeline rtl-e. And huge thanks to Joe at Ocean Honda for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa, Port Richey, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Joe. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you guys, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try to get all those videos for you as soon as possible. Other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.